Hi, and welcome to Q&A with Megan. I'm Megan, and today's edition of Q&A is Practicing Prayer in Lent. Our question is, what are your insights about deepening a connection with God through prayer during Lent? Well, I want to ask you, what does prayer mean to you? Is it about feeling a certain way, sensing a certain thing, or comfort, assurance, emotion? Or does it have more to do with a kind of thought, realization, revelation? Or does prayer mean more about action and service, doing things to get certain things done? I want to say that, of course, prayer can mean all of these things, any one of these things and all of them together. And it is important that we identify God's presence in as many things as possible. So it is beautiful if we can acknowledge that prayer can happen within our feelings and thoughts and actions and really anything that we can be involved in life. Now, I want to say that this is so important because it will give us more satisfaction in life and more joy if we can find God and God's presence and connect with this in more situations in life, in as many things as possible. It can help to renew our hope, to turn to these feelings and thoughts and actions that come about in our lives that remind us of God and that assure us that God is within all of these instances and all of these things that we could possibly experience. Now, another thing that I want to say though is that when it comes to God and us, there is this relationship that is really in need of being cultivated and nourished, nurtured, and really focused on. So with all relationships, as we know, they just take time and energy and work to really improve upon them and to go deeper into them. So during the season of Lent, I really encourage everyone to take some time to just focus on God, just sitting there doing nothing else but trying to connect with God, not necessarily through certain actions or even thoughts and feelings, but just being available to God in the present moment and allowing anything to just occur in that moment when you give it to God to work on you. So instead of we being the ones that instigate or look for or begin a sort of connection, we can just wait and respond to, surrender to, receive whatever God has planned for us. And of course, this could be in the form of a beautiful feeling or a illuminating thought or a motivating kind of urge or inspiration to act. It could be any of these things, but the most important thing I believe during this Lenten season for us all to remember is to take some time alone in silence with God. This is what Jesus did. This is what Jesus did this entire time in the desert, in the wilderness, during these 40 days of preparation for his ministry. So again, I really believe that taking this time will be so fruitful. It will not necessarily be easy, especially at first, but it is the moment that we have to just surrender into whatever God wants to bring us, and we can accept that whatever it is good, perfect, and loving. Now, you may ask, how long is it appropriate, necessary for me to spend in this silent prayer, this alone time of connection with God? Well, I want to tell you something that Father Richard Rohr said, and he said that spend as much time in prayer as it takes for you to say yes to God. to say yes to the present moment that you are facing, to say yes to this overflow of life that you are welcomed and invited to experience. So try to get to the point where you can reach this yes, where you know deep inside that you are confident and assured that God has all these great things planned for you. So you know when that yes happens within you. So listen to that. Pay attention to that. Now, another thing that you could also incorporate into this time alone with God, other than just sitting in silence and waiting for God to speak to you, is to offer your Lenten intentions to God during this time. To remind yourself and reflect with God all these beautiful things that you have intended to work on during this Lent in regards to your connection with God and yourself and others, anything that you may have come up with. So it's a really awesome opportunity for all of us to, again, just renew those commitments that we have during Lent, and then to remember, of course, to wait and just see what comes up, what kind of inspiration you may receive from God in response to you just delivering and just repeating those intentions out in your prayer. I want to leave you with a quote by Saint Therese of Lisieux, who was a Catholic saint in France. She said, "For me, prayer is a surge of the heart. It is a simple look turned toward heaven. It is a cry of recognition and of love, embracing both trial and joy." So make prayer something unique to you. Keep in mind everything that you've heard now and anything else that may inspire you and remain with you about prayer. And just know that, of course, God is in everything, but that God is waiting for you to take some time to be alone with God and to receive all the goodness, beauty, love, perfection, and truth that God has to offer. So God bless on your journey. I will see you next week for another Q&A. Take care during this Lent, and I will see you soon. All right, take care and God bless.